Today, you're going to learn some useful conversational phrases in English that native speakers use all the time. We call these colloquial phrases or expressions. Using more colloquial phrases like these will help you sound much more natural when speaking English to other people. Hey everybody, how's it going? Thiago here, and welcome to another episode of the podcast. In case you're new here, I created this podcast to help intermediate and advanced learners of English communicate with more confidence, more accuracy, more clarity, and more awareness. If this sounds like something you want for yourself and your English, subscribe to the channel if you are on YouTube, or follow the show if you are on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Also, don't forget to check out my new pronunciation course available on pre-sale and at a very special discounted price. The purpose of this course is to teach you the main connected speech patterns that native speakers use in media and in real life so you can better understand fast-spoken English. Also, with the course, you will learn the main sounds of English when it comes to pronunciation. That knowledge will help you speak English with more clarity, more flow, and more fluency. Like I said, the course is available on pre-sale with a special discount. If I were you, I would secure this discount now because this price won't last forever. But now, let's get started with the lesson. All right, guys, so let's start our episode today with 4 basic phrases. I understand, I don't understand, I'm not surprised, and you're welcome. I'm sure you know these phrases, right? So let's start by learning more colloquial ways of saying these things. First of all, what is a more natural way of saying I understand that native speakers use all the time in movies, in series, and in real life? For example, I see. When you say to someone, I see, it's not necessarily I see, like I'm looking at something. It means I understand. So imagine somebody is explaining something to you, and then you can say, I see. In other words, I understand. Okay? You can also say, I get it. I get it. Yeah, I get it. All right? What about I don't understand? You can say, I don't get it. I don't get it. Why is he doing that? I don't get it. Like, I don't understand. I don't get it. All right? Or you can also say, it makes no sense to me. Why is he doing that? It makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me. Okay? What if you want to say that you are not surprised? You can say, I'm not surprised. What else can you say? Well, you could say, I can't say I'm surprised. I can't say I'm surprised. Usually with that tone, right? I can't say I'm surprised. All right? Or, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. All right? So, as it turns out, John is leaving the country because he got a new job. Yeah, that's what I thought. He's so good. All right? What about you're welcome? Usually you say thank you, and then the person responds, you're welcome. Well, you can also say, glad to help. Glad to help. Thank you very much. Glad to help. Or, thank you very much. No problem. No problem. Okay? So we already have some interesting ways here to communicate these things. I see. I get it. I don't get it. It makes no sense to me. I can't say I'm surprised. That's what I thought. Glad to help. No problem. By the way, if you're watching me or listening to me, make sure you practice along. Repeat along, yeah, so you can practice using these phrases here. Okay? Now let's move on to other possibilities. So, I understand. How else? What are the ways do you have in English to say, I understand? Well, you could say, I feel you. I feel you. It's like, imagine somebody is expressing maybe some frustration with you. The person is frustrated for whatever reason, the person is sad or upset, and the person is sharing that struggle with you. To sympathize, you can say, yeah, I feel you. Like, I understand what you're going through. I feel you, okay? If you want to sound even more colloquial, you could reduce you to ya. So you could say, yeah, I feel you. I feel you. Yeah, I feel you. You could also say, fair enough. Fair enough. All right? Okay, fair enough. The context here is a little bit different, though. Imagine you are talking to a friend and both of you want to go to the movies, okay? And then your friend says, look, since both of us live in the extreme parts of the city or sides of the city, let's pick a movie theater that is right in the middle, and then it's not too far for either of us. In that case, you could say, sure, fair enough. Like, yeah, I understand. It makes sense. Fair enough. Okay? And instead of I feel you, you could also say I hear you. Like hear, That has the same meaning as the first one. When you want to empathize or sympathize with someone, you can say, yeah, I hear you. Or remember, you can reduce you to yeah. So you can say, I hear you. I hear you. Oh man, I'm so frustrated because I didn't get the job. Yeah, I hear you. Got it? For I don't understand, you also have this possibility. How come? If you start a question with how come, immediately you are communicating that you don't understand the situation. Going back to the movie theater example, imagine your friend picks a movie theater that is closer to his place but not yours. And then you meet him at the movie theater. You can ask him, hey, how come you didn't pick a movie theater in the middle of the city? You see, how come you didn't pick a movie theater in the middle of the city or closer to downtown? How come? Like, I don't understand why you picked this one. Okay? Or imagine your friend forgets to call you. And then you can call him back and say, hey, how come you didn't call me? How come you forgot to call me? Like, I don't understand. What happened? Okay, that's what how come communicates. Imagine somebody tells you something interesting or surprising, and you want to learn more about that. You want your friend, for example, to explain more about what happened. You could just respond with how come. All right? Hey, I have to tell you something. I lost my job today. And then you as the friend, you can say, how come? It's like, what happened? It's also possible to use it that way. Okay? You could also use the phrase, what's the point? But in this case, the context is like, I don't understand why we have to do this. What's the point? Why do I have to finish this report? It's useless. What's the point? Okay? This is a great one, guys. You can say, beats me. Beats me. This is like, I have no idea. I don't understand the situation. I don't get it. I have no clue. Beats me. You can use that usually also to empathize or sympathize with somebody else. Imagine your friend tells you that he or she doesn't understand something, and you want to confirm that you don't understand that thing either. So you can say, yeah, beats me. For example, how come he is the boss? He's so incompetent. And then you can say, beats me. I don't get it either. If you don't get it, I don't get it either. You see, so it's a way of empathizing with the other person. The person doesn't get it, and you don't get it either. So you can say, beats me. Okay? Finally, you can say that something is beyond you, okay? Like, oh, this is beyond me. It's beyond me, okay? When something is beyond you, you can't understand. For the life of you, in your lifetime, with all the experience you've acquired until now, you don't get it. You don't understand it, For example, how some people can be incredibly rude to others for no reason is completely beyond me. You see, it's beyond me. I can't understand. I can't even begin to understand. Okay? It's beyond me. Got it? Let's check some other possibilities here. First, for thank you or thanks. Another way for you to say thanks could be much appreciated. Much appreciated. Or you can also say, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. It's okay for you to combine those two. Yeah, like thanks, I appreciate it. Or thank you, I appreciate it. All right? You could also say, I owe you one. I owe you one, man. You know, if you say that to a friend, you are saying thanks. And it's this idea of, you did something nice for me. Now I feel indebted to you. And in the future, I will do something nice for you when I can, when I have the chance. So I owe you one. Okay? Or I owe you, man. You can also say that. Another possibility here is if you want to ask what the person is doing. Okay, imagine you arrive home and then you want to ask what your friend who lives with you is doing, or what your wife or what your husband is doing. You can say, hey, what have you been up to? What have you been up to? Means, what are you doing? What are you planning to do? Or what have you done today? What have you been up to? Okay? Or you could also say, what are you up to? Hey, everybody, what are you guys up to? Imagine you call your friend in the evening, Saturday night, and you want to know if your friend has any plans for Saturday. You can say, hey, John, how's it going? What are you up to? It's like, what are you doing now? Or what have you been doing today? What are you up to? Okay? The first option, what have you been up to, can also be used when you meet somebody on the street, for example, you know, or when you catch up, you know, with someone. Imagine you haven't met somebody for a while, for some time, and then you see the person again and say, hey, it's good to see you again. What have you been up to? Or what have you been up to? Like, you know, what have you been doing? Yeah, with your life. Okay? Notice the pronunciation here. Yeah, so what have, usually I say what have. So I pretty much drop the H here. I don't say have. I just say have, but then I join that with the T for what, which has a flap sound. What have, you know? What have you been? What have you been up to? And then I join been up to. I join the N for been with a U for up. So been up to. What have you been up to? What have you been up to? Hey, what have you been up to? Okay? By the way, guys, this is exactly the kind of stuff that you learn in my new pronunciation course, okay? How to speak like that in a more connected way. So do check it out. Don't forget that. If you want to communicate, no problem. You can say, no big deal. No big deal. It's okay. Or even you can say, no biggie. No biggie. Like, oh, I'm sorry I forgot to call you last night. No biggie. No big deal. All right? So it's not as serious as you think. Instead of saying you're welcome, you can also say, don't mention it. Thank you so much. Don't mention it. Don't mention it. I say mention and then mention it. Mention it. Don't mention it. Or don't worry about it. Thank you so much. Don't worry about it. All right, let's go over some other alternatives here. Imagine a friend of yours says, you know, I never really liked that movie. You can say, same here. Same here, what does it mean? You agree with the person. Yes, you don't like that movie either. I never really liked that movie. Same here. Or if you want to connect more, you can say same here. Same here. You know, you drop the H for here, you just same here. Same here. Same here. Okay? Or you can also say, tell me about it. Yeah? You can say, man, that new show on Netflix sucks. You can say, tell me about it. Yeah, it's horrible. You see, tell me about it means I agree. Isn't that crazy, guys? Tell me about it means I agree with you. Right? This is colloquial English. It's the real English that you hear in movies, series, or when you travel to English-speaking countries. What? Tell me about it. Tell me about it. What do you want to say? What do you want to tell me? No, I agree. Okay? I love learning English. Tell me about it. It's awesome, isn't it? You see? Or imagine the situation here. They're getting married. You don't say. You see, now I'm expressing surprise. They're getting married. You don't say. Wow. Okay? It could also be for something negative. Okay? She lost her job. You don't say. It could be negative as well, but you are expressing surprise. Okay? You can also say, no kidding. No kidding. Positive news or negative news that make you feel surprised, okay? No kidding. No kidding. All right? It means I'm surprised. Now imagine the situation here. She's late. That figures. That figures. This means I'm not surprised. Okay? Imagine you have a friend who is always late to every appointment you have together. Okay? And then there you are at the place assigned at the right time. 10 minutes passed or half past, and your friend is not there yet. You can say to yourself, well, she's late again. Figures. Or that figures. Or you can also say typical. Oh my, she's late again. Typical. You see, typical. I'm not surprised. This is not the first time this has happened. Okay? When somebody gives you bad news and you want to empathize, you can also use these. What a bummer. Oh no, what a bummer. Like, it's bad. Or that sucks. Okay? So, for example, imagine your friend said, sorry, I can't come to your party today because I have a headache. And then you can say, oh, what a bummer. Like, this is bad. But it's a way of empathizing with the other person as well. Or you can say, a headache, oh, that sucks. That's all right, maybe next time. All right? So what a bummer. Or that sucks. All right? In other words, that's bad. Usually when somebody says thank you, you can say you're welcome, right? Like we learn now, you can say don't mention it, all right? And you can also say anytime. Thank you, don't mention it. Thank you, anytime. Thank you, you're welcome. Thank you, no problem. You see the variations here? Again, when you want to empathize with something and somebody maybe talks about something boring that they have to do, For example, oh man, I have to write 20 reports for my boss by Friday. Like, this is really boring, right? You can empathize by saying, 20 reports, what a drag. If you say what a drag, it means this is really boring. And you are at the same time empathizing with the person. What a drag. All right? That movie was a drag. That TV show was a drag to watch. You can also say, what a bore. 20 reports. Oh, what a bore. All right? Like, this is so boring. All right? Or sounds boring. Guys, what a drag is more common in American English, okay? I hear that a lot in movies and TV series. What a drag, all right? But if you hear what a bore, it's the same meaning. Sounds boring. This is really boring, okay? This is a nice one, guys. Imagine you want to be sarcastic, okay? You want to state something obvious in a sarcastic way. Imagine your friend says, physics classes are hard. You can say, what did you expect? What did you expect? It's like, duh, of course they are. Yeah? Or you can also say, no kidding, but with that sarcastic tone. Oh man, physics classes are so hard. And then you can say, no kidding. It's like, duh, of course they are. All right? Or your friend says something really obvious, like, Oh man, I have to pay my rent. You say, no kidding. Yeah, we all do. Yeah? Either our rents or mortgages. You see, so if you want to be sarcastic, you can do that. What did you expect? You see the tone, the sarcastic tone? What did you expect? Or no kidding. You see, it's not no kidding, because if you raise the tone, guys, now it's more surprise. I passed the test. No kidding. You see? But if you want to be sarcastic, like duh, you can say no kidding. No kidding. You see? It's that tone. All right? So just to wrap up today's episode, guys, let me just quickly read here some of these phrases that we went over today, okay? So listen. I'm going to try to read it with the proper intonation according to the situation that I'm imagining here, okay? So, beats me. I feel you. Same here. That sucks. What a bummer. What's the point? Fair enough. This is beyond me. Tell me about it. Typical. What a drag. You don't say. How come? No kidding. Or, remember, if you want to be sarcastic, no kidding. That figures. Or you can say, figures. What a bore. What did you expect? Okay, so these are some examples of real phrases, let's say, real English that is used in real life. Whenever you watch movies, TV series, when you travel and listen to native speakers there speaking, these are very common conversational phrases. Remember, these are colloquial phrases. Using more colloquial phrases like these will help you speak English more naturally and not sound like a textbook, maybe. Not, speaking English from textbooks only, but you're going to be speaking English that is more colloquial, more casual, and more common. All right? Guys, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this vocabulary episode. Don't forget to check out my new pronunciation course on pre-sale, link in the show notes and also in the description of the video here on YouTube and as a pinned comment down below. And subscribe to the channel on YouTube so you don't miss a single new video, and leave me a 5-star review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts because that also helps me a lot on those platforms. I'm Thiago, I'm signing off, and I'll be talking to you very soon in the next video. Bye-bye.